Hey guys, it's James. I'm here with the Splinter Cell Blacklist review. I just got done playing it all the way through the story mission, so without further ado, let's get started. Presentation, the story of the game. The story, how it presented itself, everything like that. It had a lot of cliches. The story itself, Blacklist, which is a terrorist organization, they are trying to take down America because they want us to pull our troops out of neighboring countries because they don't like our military power being in other countries. Pretty cliche story, but it's very Tom Clancy-like. I've read some of his books and it's a lot like his books. So, in other words, the game was pretty darn good. Presentation-wise, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't even great. It was just good. It was cliche, but I mean, it's kind of like Mission Impossible. Those are cliche too, but those end up being fantastic movies. So, the presentation gets a 7 out of 10. It wasn't a great story. It was barely good. It was almost just okay. But the game, the presentation doesn't ruin the game as a whole. Just bear with me. Graphics. Graphics, I'm not a graphics source, so graphics don't mean a whole lot to me in a game, but the graphics for this game were just good, almost just okay. Bland inside environments, the insides were pretty grayish all the time. The game was all just gray and black, which I understand the shadows and the darkness and stuff like that. For the most part, it was there was just like maybe 1 or 2 levels where you were actually in the daylight, which those were refreshing. A lot of the levels were just dark and gray. Inside buildings were just gray and it got boring. So I don't know. Graphics and the character designs were just good too, so I had to give the graphics a 7 out of 10, just a good rating, because they weren't great and they were almost just okay graphics, but they were good. They weren't bad. There was nothing to complain about graphically except maybe the gray environments inside, but it was pretty good graphic wise. Sound, the voice acting was pretty darn good. In fact, I would call it great, and I would call the soundtrack great. Let me explain for a second, though. Voice acting, actually, I'll take that back. Voice acting was not great. It was very good, but it wasn't great. I've never played the other Splinter Cell games, but, hold on just a second. There we go. I've never played the other Splinter Cell games, or it's been like 10 years since I've even played them, but, they were very, very entertaining, if I remember right. Yeah, but anyway, I know they changed the voice actor of Sam Fisher, so a lot of people were up in arms over the change in voice actor. I didn't really notice because I hadn't played, and I thought that the new voice actor was pretty okay. I mean, he wasn't amazing, he wasn't great, but he was pretty darn good. Everybody else in the game were pretty good voice actors. I think the main villain was probably one of the best. He was really good. He had an English accent and all that, but he was very, very believable as an evil character. So, as voice acting, I would say that they were good, but with the soundtrack, I'd also say the sound got even better. So, the soundtrack was really good. It wasn't fantastic. I'd say it was great, though. It was really great, the soundtrack, and the voice acting was really good. So, I give them an 8 out of 10 great sound. Barely great, but still, it was pretty great sound. The gameplay was really good, really fun. It felt real. You actually felt like a spy, and that's really all it had to do. The mechanics, the gameplay mechanics, shooting, all that, I came across no issues with that. The only issue I ever had playing it was it froze one time, but that could just be because I have an old crappy PS3. It's old, so just the first year or two since it came out. But gameplay, it worked, and it made you feel like a spy, and the gameplay was, if the gameplay is fun, then the gameplay is already doing something right. So I'd say gameplay was great. It wasn't amazing, you can't give, it wasn't game changing or anything, but it was really great. It was great for what it was. It didn't change anything game wise or anything, but it worked, and that's when you work perfectly. If you don't do anything new or you don't make anything game changing, can't expect an amazing or a masterpiece rating for gameplay, but you know, if you do everything great that you're supposed to, at the very least that you're supposed to, then 8 out of 10, you know, great. Entertainment, I'm just going to get straight into these last two. Entertainment and replay value, I'm going to combine this time and say that they were great. 8.5 out of 10 is what I gave both of those as separate categories, because the replay value, there's a lot there. There's side missions that you can either do co-op or single player, and you can do those side missions very beginning, during, or even at the very end of the game. You beat the main story mission, you can still go back and do the side missions. And the Spies vs. Mercs Online was fantastic fun. You have to have a Uplay account, which honestly takes away a little bit from the rating because you can't just jump right into it, unfortunately. You can, but you can't upgrade past level 5, and you can't buy anything. So basically they're just giving you a little demo taste of the multiplayer. I think Uplay accounts are free, but I want to guarantee that, and if they weren't free, it would piss me off a little bit, but anyway. But yeah, the entertainment was great, the replay value is great. It's there, has more replay value than a lot of things, and it was just very fun game, so I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 for both of those. Finally, as a whole, Splinter Cell, I gave it a great 8 out of 10, and to match my Saints Row 4 rating, which I gave a great 8 out of 10. I would actually pay a little less for this game just because it just, I don't know, even though it had probably a little more, or this, no, didn't have as much replay value probably, or entertainment as Saints Row 4, so that's probably why I would take it down a little bit. But it's another one of those games, if I paid $60, I would not be upset, I would not be mad, I would still be having fun with it. But if you haven't bought it yet, I'd wait till it's down to 40 or 45, used or new, either one. If you have to have a Uplay account, then wait until the new is down to 40 or 45. But if you find the game, heck, if you find the game $50 used, it would still be worth it. It's a great game. So that's about it for this review. Next review will be over Killer is Dead. So until next time, guys, see ya.